Hey everyone, welcome to Inside the AI. Today we have a great podcast for you today. We're going to be working on a HR problem. And this problem is going to have a workflow in which we take a resume or a CV and we analyze that CV with this workflow. And at the end of this workflow, what you have is an updated Excel spreadsheet or Google Sheets with the name, the phone number, the email, all of the content extracted, the educational history, and then you have a vote if the candidate is a good candidate to have or not a good candidate, and if you should consider them and why. So I hope this video adds value to you. If you're looking for this JSON, please join my school community. It's linked in the description below. You can also email me at the description below, and I'll send you the JSON. You don't have to join the school community. Aside from that, I hope this provides you value, but I'm going to work through this and show you how it works. So the first thing that you have to do to test this out is you have to hit test workflow. And now it's going to give you this screen. So if this was on your website, someone can have a survey to fill out. So I will just put my name. And then I need to choose the PDF, and I press submit. And what we can see is it works through this workflow. And at the end, we will have an updated Google Sheets that has extracted all of the resume into one location and has already analyzed it for you to tell you if it's a good candidate or not. So now we have the information extracted. We have the data doc. We have phone number, the email. I didn't put my birthday. So then we have the job, the education. So I have an MBA from the University of South Florida. I have some other stuff there. And then we put the job history. So, you can read it across the top. You have the skills. Where's the person based? So this is just a summary of the entire resume. So, based out of the Tampa area, MBA, South Florida, it gives you just a summary of the entire resume. So dependent on the job posting, you can modify that within in the n8n workflow. This will give you a vote if the person is a good candidate or not. So my resume voted out as a 2. Consideration. So then this gives you a consideration for the position. And then last, date time group. So if you find value in this video, please give this video a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. And if you want this, don't forget, join my school community or just shoot me an email and I'll send it over to you. So I've entered my n8n environment. I have a cloud-based environment. And the first thing I always need to do is change the title. So I'm going to put this as CV analysis video so I can know to delete it. And then the first thing I want to do is create a trigger. And the trigger is going to be off of a on-form submission, because this is going to be the form that we create for the website. So if you had a website, you would make this as your how someone submits the CV to your job posting. And it will be posted there so someone could just submit their resume. So you can keep it really simple and just have just a name group. So we want someone to fill out their name. It's going to be a plain text. You need to make this required. And then we need an email so that we can contact them. And most of the other information should be inside of the resume. So to do that, what we need to do is put CV so they know it's a CV. So now, instead of it being a text here, we need to change this to a file so they can submit a file. And then we need to tell it what kind of file it is. So we need to put a .pdf to require that type of PDF and then make this a requirement. So that's all we need for the survey. So we can close that out. And then the next thing we need to do is we need to have the extract information. So extract information from a file. And since they've submitted a PDF, we need to extract the information from a PDF, which is pretty self-explanatory. So this is extract from a PDF. This needs to be the name of the PDF. So I put CV, and then we need some data. Always need to be running this. So let's do a run. It's going to pop up the window again. And so I need to send in the information. So data doc, and then the email inside the algorithm. 1@gmail.com. Submit this so it goes through. And now we have that information. It's gone through. And so now there's a number of things we can do. We're going to continue going. But what we need to do next is a data extractor, information extraction. And we have a few things we need to do to this. The first thing is we need to show that, it's coming from where it's coming from. So we need to tell it to come from a JSON text. So we just type that in, make it an expression, and that's basically pulling in the resume. Now, there's going to be a few things we need to change. The first thing we need to do is change the schema type to define below, because we're going to define it on our own. So I've written a short little script which is going to extract key things from the resume, and I'll talk you through what that means. So basically, it's extracting the phone number, the city, and the birthday from the resume. And then we need to type in a system prompt template. And then from this is complete. So now with this complete, we need to go to add a new one. So we can hit another plus. And we're going to do another information extractor. And what this is going to be is it's going to be the qualifications extractor. So the first one we extracted was the birthday and all of that information. We're going to do the same thing, except for this is just going to focus on qualifications. So I need to rename the other one, but essentially it's breaking it up and extracting all of that information. So it's not all extracted in one go. A lot of times these AIs or these systems do better when you break them up into smaller workflows. So now we need to add an attribute. And so the first attribute we're going to extract is the education qualification. And this is copy and paste it in. Again, you don't need a screenshot or anything. Just go over to my school community or shoot me an email and I can send you this. If you work in HR, this could help save some time. So we're going to add another attribute. Now we need to extract the job history. So job history, and then we give a description of what it is. And essentially I can show you what this is saying. We're telling it to extract the information, focus on the most recent work history, and summarize it in 100 words maximum. So we're giving it some limitations. Make this a requirement. Now, the next thing we need to pull out is the skills. So we're going to pull the skills out, and we're doing the same thing. We'll give it a little prompt to tell it to extract the skills and then narrow it down to making it a bullet format. And so if you want to see how this looks, what software frameworks they are proficient in, make it a bullet list. So it's kind of a little bit different, but it should be very useful for you. And then at the bottom, we're going to do again is a system prompt. And then this is completed. So now the qualifications on the bottom, the top should be focusing on personal information. So we're going to rename this to personal information. And so we can rename that and we're good to get that done. Now what we need to do is delete this and then have this go like that. So now we have it going to two locations. These are going to be red because we have a AI model it's going to be tied to. But from here, we're going to take that and merge this together. So what this means is essentially what we're doing here is we are taking the entire document. So we have one large PDF that comes in. This is going to extract the personal information of each row. So the name, the phone number, etc. And this is going to extract the qualifications of that person, the education, the work history. And now we have that merging back together. And instead of it being one document, it's going to be broken up into smaller data chunks or data strings so that we could use it later. If we don't do this, it's not going to fit into our Google Sheets. So that's the most important reason why we're doing this. So the next thing we need to do is we need to hit this plus, and we're going to hit the chain summarization. And it's going to continue to be a JSON. It's a simply defined below. All of this stays the same. But what we need to do is we need to add some information down here. So what we need to do is add in a summarization methods and prompts. So we're going to give it some prompts to do. This recommended, it stays the same, but we have our own information we're going to put in here. I'll show you what it says, but again, join the school community, shoot me an email, and you can have this all for free. Change this to expressions. Make sure this is an expression. And so basically what we're doing is we're telling it to write a concise summary of the information that was extracted. So remember, when we had one entire PDF, this was one data flow. That PDF was one data flow. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 data flows coming in. And so this is going to bring that in and merge it all together. And now we need to add in the final prompt down here. So now to do that, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to copy and paste this in, and I will show you the expression so you can see what it's saying. So now this is the same thing. Write a concise summary of the city, birthday, etc. So now we have that complete. Excuse me, that should be. So now this bottom prompt is going to be on the second part. So the skills, the history, and the job workflow. So with that done, we can go back to the main screen and we can merge that together. So now we need to add in an edit fields button or node, excuse me. So we put edit fields, use this a lot. And what we're going to do is we're going to have the string as, we're going to have the information coming in as a string. And what we're going to do is add this as profile wanted. All right, so basically we're telling it who we want and the job. So this is where you want to update this. This is one of the most important parts that you're going to need to know, because this is where you update the job posting. We are a web agency. We are looking for a full stack web developer who knows how to use PHP, Python, and JavaScript. His experience in this sector and lives in northern Italy. So you can change this to modify this to wherever you want it to be. But this is going to help match it to see if it's a 1-for-1 match. All right. So now that we have that done, the next thing we need to do is another summary. So once we have that, we need to go here and type in chain. This is going to be a little different because what we need to do is do a basic LLM chain. And from this, what we need to do is change the connected chat trigger node to defined below. And then again, we need to type in this prompt. It's not anything special. It's just pulling in the information from the previous with the names here. So now we have that complete. We need to pull this back up. And the next thing I need to do is add a chat message. So you go here, you type system. So again, the prompt is going to be here. Please feel free to go ahead and copy it. Go to the school community, download this, but we will take care of you. Hit me up in there and I will make sure you're taken care of. So this is all you need to do. Basically, we're telling it you're the HR expert and we've given it the information to summarize. So this, we can continue our linear movement and go to our Google Sheets. We can add the Google Sheet. And then from this, we're going to update and append a row. So this is going to pull all of that information into one location. We need to select the file. So here, this is going to, so what update and append a row is going to do is, it's going to update one row of information in this sheet. We have HRCV as the name of the file, and we're telling it to update one row. And then we need to pull the sheet. So from here, we're telling it sheet 1. If there was multiple sheets, it could be 1, 2, 3, or 4. But since we only have one, we're using sheet 1. And now we need to map it to the name. So this is going to be very tedious, and it's easier if you have some information pulled in. So what I will do is I will come back to that and finish that at the end. So now what I will do is there's one thing that we need to do is we need to give these all the red a model to use. So the model we're going to use is the easiest one is OpenAI chat model. 4.0 mini works properly. So this is fine here. And then we connect all of them to this. And then the HR expert, we need to rename this as the HR expert. And that's the LLM that's going to process all the information. So basically what we've done is split information, merge it together, split it one more time, and then we've compiled it, understand it, and then it updates it into the sheet. So now what we need to do is we need to structure the output parser. And so now what this is going to do is it's going to structure it in the way that we need it to be. And this is going to give it the vote. So this is where we're going to tell it, is this a good candidate or is this not a good candidate? It tells it to vote here. It outputs a string and should we consider them, and puts a string out. So now we have this whole workflow done. What we'll do is we need to get this information here. So the way we do that is we click the plus here, or excuse me, we click the play button here, and this is telling everything to run. So now this is going to run and it's going to pull all the information and send it over. So now that works all properly. 2 information have sent over. And so now we have all the information we need here to update this. So we need to make sure this is in schema, and the schema allows us to pull in the information. So all we have to do is grab and drop it in. So what I always do for this is go to the bottom because we know the name is here. So now I have the name. Let me take a step back. To match the column, we need to match this to something that is unique. So you can do that by email. So you need to select the drop down and then put email, because what that is going to do, it's going to read these rows and match it to the first one that matches. You don't want to use name because there's a lot of people who have the same name, but no one has the same name, email or phone number. So you can use email or phone number, and that typically works well. So once you have email, you pull the email in and then you just keep filling it in. So now you want to go to phone number, you can pull phone number over, you can pull birthday over. So you have your birthday, you have your phone number. I've already done that. So basically you want to come over here and match the name of the information to the row that you're going to put it in. So if you have the name, you can take this, drag the name over, just put it in the name format, and it's already complete. You do that for each one. So basically, if you want to do, let's say you're doing consideration, you have consideration right here. The vote, you put the vote in right here, and you do that for each one. And basically you have that done. So if you test this out, it should update this Google Sheets. So now if I hit this play button, it should work properly. So now if I start over from the beginning, I can test this step, and I hit data doc. Then I select my PDF. All right, so now with that whole workflow complete, what we can do is we can test this workflow and click data doc and put in the email. And then I can pick the PDF. And it will run through, and it will go through all the way through and update our Google Sheet. And what I'll do is I'll let it go through. And when it gets about here, I'll switch to the Google Sheets. And so now we can sit here and watch it update in real time. And so now it's just extracted all of my information into a Excel spreadsheet. So as you have these, what you could do is you could filter based off the person. If they're voted very high, you can filter off of certain things and have the analysis of that individual's resume in one location. So if you are an HR expert and you need something like this, go to my school community, download the JSON, send me an email. I'll send you over this JSON. I'll tell you how it works. Whatever you need, I will make sure you have it so that you're successful. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. It really helps the channel. I'm the Data Doc. I appreciate your time. Bye-bye.